Don't smoke their cigarettes, don't drink their water. I have no idea who I am, and this is Shutter Island.
These are all violent offenders, right? They've hurt people, murdered them in some cases.
In almost all cases, yes. We try to provide them with a measure of calm.
Personally, Doctor, I'd have to say screw their sense of calm.
Martin Scorsese always had his favorites. For many years, Robert De Niro was his actor of choice. But in later years, he switched to Leonardo DiCaprio and cast him in almost every movie he made. After the failed Oscar bait of Aviator and the accidental Oscar raid of Departed, the two collaborated again to bring us Shutter Island. It was the first time for DiCaprio and Scorsese to have a joint venture into the world of mystery and thrillers. And they were not the only talents involved. Max from Sydow and Ben Kingsley are among the notable supporting cast, and the story itself is based upon the novel by Dennis Lehane, who also wrote Gone Baby Gone and Mystic River. At first, Shutter Island seems like a classic tale of mystery set in the 50s. Leonardo DiCaprio plays FBI agent Teddy Daniels, who tries to track down the murderer of his wife. His investigations lead him to the mysterious Shutter Island. Shutter Island is home to a hospital for the criminally insane, run by two scientists. DiCaprio is supposed to investigate the strange disappearance of one of the inmates, but soon enough he finds out that some things are not quite what they seem to be. He cannot decide anymore who to trust and who might be part of a greater conspiracy, maybe even involving his dead wife. And one more for the Leonardo DiCaprio has visions of his dead wife and or girlfriend list. A major part of this movie consists of investigations and interrogations. During these scenes, it's greatly beneficial that the setting and the scenery are just as much star of the movie as the actors themselves. This island and all of its institutions, from the hospital to the graveyard to the lighthouse, seem to be taken out straight off a Gothic painting. You can feel the paranoia and sometimes even the claustrophobia DiCaprio suffers from just by seeing these places and believing that they really exist. Most things about this movie seem to fall into place just perfectly, and although it got some critical acclaim, it failed to create a greater following. One of the main complaints I've heard is that people say they saw the ending coming a mile away. And I agree, but here's the point. I do believe that people who saw the ending coming were looking for the wrong ending.
What a twist!
I believe Shutter Island fools you into thinking it's one kind of movie, but turns out to be a completely different beast. Of course, to talk about these aspects, we have to go into heavy spoilers, and since I do not want to ruin the movie for you, I advise watch it first. And in the next episode, we're talking about all the themes and all the twists of Shutter Island. Until then, if you do your research on Shutter Island and find out that you like it, what to watch next? A great place to start would be all the adaptations of Dennis Lehane's novels. They're most of the time rather crime than mystery, but there is a certain similar mood in all of his tales. You could start exploring with the riveting drama Mystic River. But if you're especially a fan of the mystery elements and would rather like to have more of them than less, then check out the 80s Angel Heart. A young Mickey Rourke stars as a private eye who's getting an assignment from Robert De Niro that leads him into the occult traditions of New Orleans. There is a lot of talking heads going on, but it has a thick and dark atmosphere that carries along quite well. And if you can get into its world of voodoo, you're in for quite a ride. And of course, one of the major influences of Shutter Island is the German expressionist cinema, especially the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which plays with the notions of identity and personality in a similar way that Shutter Island does. And of course, is one of the great classics of cinema history, and you should take a look if you have the chance. That said, there is still so much more to explore, so subscribe and join me on our next venture to Shutter Island when we discover all its mysteries. This is Marlon, signing out.